Chemicamtro Miramitrio, Marunam Yakidi the Free, Lambasameti Joyanati, Hoop Coop Shubechao, Ajay Ravivarche, Ane Ajay Canadamum, Modu Che Bahara, Modu Paraf. Hey everyone, this is Yakety the Free here, just greeting any Gujarati friends in the channel today and explaining to them that even though it's a nice Sunday, it is very cold with a lot of snow in Canada today. However, in Raid Shadow Legends, a lot of my cold weather seemed to melt yesterday. And I'll show you what I'm talking about roster-wise in that regard shortly. Today was day 30 login. So got a high Katoon to start the day. That's pretty nice. When login reset happens today in about 8 hours for me or 9 hours, 500 energy. Always love that 500 energy day. So it's been 30 days in the Hell Hades free to play challenge. How have you been doing? Have you given up? Have you burnt out? Have you been like me and all of a sudden got a rekindling of your fire because of a certain pull that you had? So, whatever's going on, I hope in real life everything is sorted and okay, and all your friends and family have good health. But in Raid Shadow Legends, man, I am doing very well. For what I thought I would actually do, I've surpassed any expectations. So I'm currently fifth overall, and I'm not too far off, about 80, 79 points from Razzie, who plays very well. And Bront Cat Herder has shot right up. And there's Gorion Dares, Gorion Diaries, whatnot, just kicking the crap out of it. And I've got a bit of a lead now, about 250 something points on Jitsu J. I don't think any of that's sustainable by me, but I'll brag about it the little bit that I can while I can. So we're going to do a fairly in-depth overall leaderboard positioning stuff on every little bit of the game that's being tracked. And the first thing I want to do is go into the clan boss best key stuff. And if you don't know and you're having any difficulties, you're only going to get credit for your highest 4 single key damages. So if you've done a night ultra nightmare, you will no longer show up on normal or easy. So since I have normal to nightmare, I won't be on easy. Anyways, in normal, I am second overall, just behind J4M. I used to be first the whole time, but it's okay. I'll never be in normal again. But, 29 million. I'd probably get almost 50% more now. The account's really strengthened in that regard. So on hard, third overall. And I think I recall seeing Gore up there. He's been there, she's been there the whole time. In brutal, I'm pretty happy about my brutal with a just 10,000 more points than Rob the Nice Guy 2 at 26 million. But my brutal is basically a one key, especially on affinity change. And I haven't tried the force one yet, but I keep getting around 22 million on average now. So I'm pretty comfortable with the brutal. But yesterday on Nightmare, Yakety the Free almost pulled in 22 million on one key of Nightmare. So today I did a hit. You'll see it was slightly over 17,000. There's a variable, of course, how I pay attention and what I'm doing, and then the relentless set procs from my Alice and Giant Slayer and whatnot. But still, 30 days without a legendary pulled or summoned, 22 million. Nightmare Clan Boss with 2 rares. Obviously, Kale is pretty strong in Clan Boss, but that's with an Apothecary. And I'll show you my Nightmare Clan Boss second key at the end of this video. We'll do that together. So there's a special thing going on with this challenge where you get points at the end of the month. So that's how all of a sudden there was like a 1,600 point increase on most of those leaderboard points if you've been following yourself or the other people. Where this account used to be at like 4,300, now all of a sudden it's 6,000. So we got those points. Anyways, on champion development, Yakety the Free is number 4, and I'm probably getting an 8-star on CVC for sure. I think I'm going to wait, and I'll show you why. And Great Hall development, again, I'll never be up there because I'm pushing the Arbiter Missions. In Faction Wars, I picked up 3 more stars yesterday. So Yakety the Free is in 4th place, 374 Faction War stars. So that's an average of, 10 stars a day on a free-to-play account. I'm happy about that. And I guess this Soul Sticken has maintained their platinum ranking, and the rest of us that were there have dropped back to gold 5, so it reset. Um, in current fastest champion, pardon me, I'll never be up here. I won't force it. If it happens, it happens. I think I have a 256 apothecary, bronze 2, no big deal. In the Nightmare campaign here, you'll see there's many people now. There's 5 that have completed all of Nightmare. And the host Hell Hades is almost there in tier. I'm still at like 213, I think. In the Doom Tower rotation, wrong one. I'm sometimes this one's taking a while to load. There we go. But you'll see like everybody is starting to clear it. I'm still stuck on floor 110 Nether Spider. Don't have a block debuff champion. I'm not investing in Spirit Host. So in Hydra, again, I haven't done anything in Hydra. In a couple days, I'm going to try with my Master Butcher. But you'll see I'm 4th overall in Demon Lord. And I'm pretty happy about that. Again, when you look, I've got 2 rares in there. I'm very happy about that. And let's see, just the people above me, how you doing? That Ghostborn really helps them. That's a strong hero for them. I remember talking to them when they first pulled that. It was very good. And Jitsu J is crushing it. Like look at the lineup though. Fracken the Fat and Corvus. It's very conducive to success in that area. So I did my best normal Chimera key the other day. So almost 10 million Yakety the Free, but you'll see like there's a clear difference between me and the people above by like double. However, it's with 2 rares yet again. So I won't flash the bottom boards down here. I'm not on them. That I've been bumped off of all of those boards. But if we go into show my progress after 30 days, free to play, and I started a day later than everybody. It doesn't really matter, but it depends. This 500 chunk of energy, that's my 8th 6-star, so I'd have some more points. But when we come to Classic Arena, it says I'm in 14th overall. I'm happy about that. Being 122nd on the Great Hall, again, I don't care. I'm trying to get a 10th ranked or level 10 accuracy in my magic for the Arbiter missions. 4th in Faction Wars, 12th in the highest speed, so not too bad. Oh, 255. I didn't mean to lie by 1 point there. Tag Team Arena, 44th. I don't really care. I think I'm like 30th. Yeah, 34th in Doom Tower. Normal campaign at the end here. 33rd. So still not too bad. It says I'm number 2 for Demon Lord. So I don't know if what's going on with that number because it showed I was 4th overall. Maybe there's content creators that are above me, but I don't know why they would show in the community tab. Whatever. Hydra, I'm still 20th. I almost did 1,000,000 damage. Um, I don't recall keeping that key, but I must have. 18th in Dragon with the 24 clear. 14th in Chimera. Overall on easy it's showing, so I guess this will swap after the next Chimera reset. Fire Knight, I'm still in 12th with an Armiger clear on stage 20. Ice Golem 19. Cleared stage 20, sorry. Minotaur, 51 seconds. Like, there's people I think that are under 40 seconds now. It's pretty good. I'm having difficulty with Spider 15, but I'm 47th overall there. Arcane Keep, I don't really care. I'm not too fussed about that. Oh, I guess I'm in the top 10 with Spear Keep with Armiger still, so I'm happy about that. Magic Keep, almost 4 minutes on stage 20. I pushed to stage 7 in, I think it was the Spirit Affinity of Iron Twins. Force Keep, whatever, stage 20, it's done. I'm 14th overall in Shogun's Grove, and I'm 27th with a stage 10 you'll see there in Sand Devil. And I'm not doing too much on the event dungeon. I got things that I needed, and I got out. So let's go back into Raid Shadow Legends, and let's take a look in the Arbiter missions. So yesterday I pushed as far as I could. I got that affinity bonus to level 8. And then there was a whole bunch of, after the Void mission to make 10 Void Superior Potions, there's 100 gems or 100 diamonds all over for each one of the dungeons, including Minotaur, all stage 15 on Autumn. And I'm hard stuck currently on stage 15 Spider's Den. That doesn't really matter because I need to get like another 100 something wins here for this to level 9 affinity bonus. But then you're back on the cycle again of the cycle of the potion keeps. And once I get through that, I'm going to be hard stuck again for at least a week. I need 250 wins in total to get this upgrade for 1,000 gold medals because I'll never win in plat, maybe one or two if I'm lucky. Then after that, this is no big deal. I can almost two key this Demon Lord thing, but then it's the stage 17 stuff. And where I'll get stuck is the Spider's Den. I might I might be able to do it though. I don't know. I pulled somebody that might help, and I have a Magnar and an Ultimate Galek. So in the Great Hall, I've won a few arena matches this week so far, 234 and 13. And again, you need 900 medals to upgrade to number 9. And I have 240. So I need another, 660 medals. So that's like 165 wins. So as you see, it's probably about a week for me to do that. But if we go into live arena, I pushed and I'm in bronze 4. Ooh, I've almost got enough medals for an arena bonus. Let's take a quick look here. So this also helps the clan boss having this 4% increased damage there. I wonder, can I afford a crit damage? I think this is 300. Yeah, I can't afford it. So I'm saving for the ignore defense and the crit damage because I can get accuracy, okay, and I can get speed, but I can't really get ignore defense unless I build somebody a savage, which I currently can't. And crit damage, it makes sense to me to put my area bonuses in there. However, in these live arena daily win chests, I'll show you what I picked up today. The legendary skill tome. I was quite excited about that. It's free except for the time that you have to put in, and then you have to win 5 matches in the day. But it is possible. 200,000 silver, that's really nice. But that legendary skill tome, oof, man, it's hard to argue against any of that. So if we come out of there, again, bronze tag team arena. I don't really care. I used all my stuff for the day. But after a month, like I bought this energy every time that it was available, and this ancient shard, and I still have like almost 3,000 gold bars. So I'm farming, I'm grinding, I'm doing what I'm supposed to when I'm supposed to, and this account is maintaining a certain level of success. And what's going to help it progress further is I needed a force hero. And I don't know if you can see him. I tried to hide him with my face here, but I pulled Mistrider Daithi. I couldn't believe it. I had all those shards I pulled and not really anybody I was excited about. But then I pulled my sacred shard from the monthly quest reset and the Force Affinity Champ to bring the 6-star for my 6-star Ascension came out. And Mistrider Daithi, he was lucky because I already had stuff waiting that was perfect for him. Let's start with the accessories. I wouldn't say perfect, but to have a full set of pinpoint where one of them is crit damage, okay, with attack and resistance, or I could try an attack one with crit, but then you see it's only a 4-star. But 1 second here. So the neat thing about these sets are, if you don't know, like you get 3 pieces full set, it adds 40 accuracy and 10% speed boost. Okay, it might not be the greatest amulet, but man, to have it ready when your champ just comes out, I'm pretty happy about that. So it's an attack banner. It's only 4-star, but it's still an attack banner with speed. Okay, I'll take that. I'd prefer accuracy if it's only going to be a 4-star, but speed with a main stat bonus, can't argue against that. And if you see it down here, he's already at 187 accuracy to begin with. So the first siege rewards I got though, man, I tell you, if this resist didn't come up, and it was, I don't know what I would need pardon me, from attack percentage, but then you start getting deeper into the game, and I want to use this guy for Spider 15. I'm going to try him. You start benefiting more from a resist. Obviously, I wish there was another roll in the speed, but to have that chunk on crit damage, it's hard to argue against that 6-star weapon. And then his Relentless Helm. again, it's full of resistance. So it's like it's perfect in my mind, except for obviously flat attack. That was kind of sad about that. And then in his boots, he picked up defense was already there. I wish obviously it rolled into accuracy again and then a flat defense, but they're still 6-star boots. Okay. And then these 6-star gloves with the accuracy and resistance again, but everything kept rolling a flat at the end, you know, a little bit of speed. I can't argue too much if I show you as a 5-star Daithi, you know, 171 speed. He's good enough for going ahead of the Spider currently on stage 15 to my knowledge. Yeah? But I'm going to get this guy going pretty good. And once he's a 6-star, I think my Arbiter missions will achieve success. So I had 2 of those 6-star weapons from Siege, and one went on to Armiger. And this one I was quite happy about to get one roll into each of the top, and then obviously I'd prefer, you know, defense percentage for Armiger. However, HP, good enough, man. So Armiger's actually now 100% crit, where he was at, I think it was 98 the whole time I had him. So that's going to work out fairly well. Let's do a Nightmare Clan boss hit together. Well, wait, let's see if I have an arena reset. Yep, this is important. If you're here, make sure you're refreshing every time you can. Hey, Steppenwolf, get his motor running, eh, with that Hegemon there. And Siegfried, I won't be able to touch that. So I'll come back and kill this Arbiter later. But it's important, if you want to keep up with the Arbiter missions, to get as many of those arena wins in as soon as you can. So, again, like I said, well, that's a nice hit by Raider there. Ooh, with an Akemptum. Wonder why no speed lead. Huh. Anyways, Yakety the Free's first hit wasn't the best one, but I'm still on pace for a 3-key, obviously. I don't want that. You know, I prefer a 2-key. However, here we go on manual. Day 30, Hell Hades, free to play, rank 5. Let me try to shuffle my people over a little bit for you. And if you're fairly new to the game still, I'm going to talk you through what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. So at the very beginning, the boss hasn't ramped up any damage. So I'm not going to spend any kind of Tagore um, special abilities like his shield and his revive, because this first hit, even if Jarag doesn't land the decrease attack, it's not much damage. So I don't want to waste it. And same with Jarag. Now that I have him with his War Master, I'm not going to use his Ally Protect on the first time on the boss. I'd rather get that decrease attack up if possible. So he didn't land it, that's twice, but he did get a War Master proc. Now that you see no one has any speed on, and Tagore's going to lose his, and they're all just a little bit under, now I'm going to heal everybody up to full and give an increased speed. Then, because Jarag has turn meter available and so does Tagore, I'm going to give them the boost. I'm not too concerned about the Kale and the Alice that were already full. Because the idea now is to get a turn immediately with Jarag right here and apply the decrease attack. And Tagore's going to get a second turn and he can apply his shield on this go around. And that's how I can't perfect. I don't know how to set this up on auto. I don't know how to speed tune it. It's not a real 2-for-1 or a 3-for-1 or a 4-3 or whatever. It's just apothecary, just meter boosting everybody. And it depends who gets hit a little harder or not that Tagore drops that increased defense on. Because if that increased defense goes on to Jarag, he will never be the stun target on because it's an all magic team. Unless his health is like, I guess he's the only one up because he can apply increased defense to his allies. So he would still, I figure, need more HP than them to be the stun target. But I don't want him ever to be the stun target if possible until maybe turn 15 because he's going to lose his cooldown for his 4-turn cooldown of Ally Protect. And without his Ally Protect on, there's no chance I get even 14 million damage. So now you'll see that the cycle with I think he's at 172 speed. I think that's the speed on Jarag. He should always get a turn ahead of the boss. And every third turn, he's going to get 2 turns to the boss's 1 turn. And that's how I'm able, with that apothecary boost, to keep a consistent 3 key. I've never had a 2 key yet because the first run's always been poopy. But if I can somehow pull in 23 million right here, I'd have a 2 key nightmare. It's not going to happen. I highly doubt it. Maybe after I get another arena bonus of increased crit damage, it might help just a little bit. And again with Kale should be the stun target this time because you'll see everybody's got Alice and Jarag have the increased defense up. All right. And I picked Jarag's lasting gifts. So that was on purpose so that Alice can hopefully always maintain that increased defense because I don't want her getting punched. She's my most damage by far with her Giant Slayer procs and her Smite, which should come on right now. Oh, this is no good. Now she's off cycle. That's the only shame of having to rely on your Smite procking to get, a 3 key. I'm way past that now. I'm no longer worried. Like if she doesn't land Smite, I still get a 3 key nightmare. There's no longer a possibility of me failing. But she's off cycle now. So I'm missing out on 250,000 damage. And I need her now after this crushing force, the punch. I need Alice to get a relentless set proc. That way she's able to reapply it at the proper cycle starting. So again, I'm going to boost because Jarag has a 4 turn cooldown on the ability he just used. So he's basically got 50% turn meter again. So I can boost him 2 times before I need to use his ability again. As long as he's not the stun target, he'll always have his ability available for Dark Nova, which is the big slam that kills everybody. So that's about it for the explanation. Now I'm just going to shoot right through as best I can. And hopefully Alice gets a proc here. I'm trying to get her as many Giant Slayer opportunities as possible. Because sometimes Alice gets like 12.5 million. So it's not often that Tagore is my stun target, but as you see, it's no real big deal this early on. There we go. So Alice is back on. And Kale just got his Nature's Bounty proc again. And I think that's the best blessing for him. I remember everybody used to say it, and I used to swear by Phantom Touch on Kale. It's a different story if you got a 6-star blessing, because then it's a guarantee extra hit. Which for Fire Knight, if you're still using Kale by the time you have him as a 6-star, I would agree with the Phantom Touch. But when it comes to the stuff I do with Kale, I want as big poisons all the time as possible. So having Kale, no, not yet. Having Kale in Dragon 24 with his A1 applying the big boy version of poison as a rare, oh, take that every day of the week. And it starts to add up. And on the clan boss fight, you might see 5 or 6. Look, he procced it again. So that's an extra 100,000 damage in total from all those ticks being extra. It's like doubling the damage at that time. So let's say overall on average, Kale's probably picked up at least 10% more damage on average overall, just from having that Nature's Bounty blessing. So, oh, there you go, Kale. I was going to say, it's not often that he lands more than 2 on Nightmare, and he's got like 330 or something accuracy. So landing that decrease attack. Once I got Jarag his all of his masteries, he's been more consistent. Wow, you go, Kale. I brought it up, and there he goes. That's 3 in a row. So that's an extra 150,000 damage just because of Kale's blessing. And the difference is between relying on Smite and relying on Nature's Bounty is that Nature's Bounty is always going to have the benefit, no matter what the boss's skills rotations are. Whereas Alice is always hindered by when she applies her Smite debuff. Come on, Kale, 4 for 4. Oh, That's still not bad. It's 75%. So now the boss is going to start getting a little pissy here, and I better start paying attention. I lost where I was on the cycle there. And you'll notice sometimes, like Alice, she's getting that lasting gift benefit from Gyrag, and so did Apothecary. So they'll never be the stun target. So now it's probably Tagore because Kale's got it as well. And I don't like Tagore getting stunned because I need him now that it's farther in. The boss's damage is ramped up. But as long as he's not stunned when he needs to apply his shield, that's all that really, really matters. So you'll see here, Gyrag doesn't have decreased attack up. That's a pretty substantial hit. Anybody that gets a continuous heal got hit for 20% of their HP because that's a passive skill of Gyrag. Anybody hit for 20% of their HP or more, they get a continuous heal buff from him. And when you have the affinity change and the boss hits everyone twice, you can proc 2 of those continuous heals. So if you had a hero instead of like an apothecary that can trigger, I think it's Senna, they can trigger the actually we're going to do this. They can trigger one of the continuous heals to go off, and you have a Gyrag, and he drops in 2 continuous heals. That's pretty good news. Yeah, I think I've talked myself into confusion on my cycle here, but it's going to be okay. It's only turn 15 currently. And again, I would have loved to show you, a 23 million nightmare key, but I woke up today thinking, yeah, it's a 3-key day. You get those feelings, right? You're like, I got Mistrider Daithi. It was a high Katoon login champ day. There's no way the game's going to let me do a 2-key nightmare as well. It'd be nice if it did, and it's coming. Within a couple days, I'm fairly certain. Because I'll pick up a couple more of those area bonuses, and I'm also, yeah, come on. And I'm also going to upgrade some of the gears. Because like Tagore's amulet is still a green level 8 amulet that's attack. Like he's not in the best gear for him. And Jyrag's still wearing some 4-star gloves and a couple other things. But I thought it was important to show again the whole run, if you're still here watching, completely free to play. Obviously, otherwise I'd be removed from this competition. And there's no real legendaries that I pulled. Like this, everybody can get these heroes that I have because of the codes that you start with, except for Jyrag. Apothecary, most people are going to get them by this time. But to get that Jyrag when I did on I think it was like day 4 or something, I couldn't ask for more because he was fully bookable as well. If you gave me Trisk, might be one of the only, I'm thinking I could use for this instead of Jyrag because I wouldn't really have to book Krisk. So I think I need to apply the shield right now with Tagore. I did have the speed boost, eh? That's okay. Come on, Alice. As long as she gets 1 War Master every time she takes an 81, I can't argue with that because it basically translates to 100,000 damage. And if she gets a Relentless proc with it, oof, then that's 200,000 damage. And if she goes twice for every boss turn, it's pretty good. All right, time time to step it up here. Let's go, guys. People are watching, hopefully still. And I think this is the most fun I've ever had in Raid Shadow Legends. Even when I first started on my very first account, the first Void Shard 7 years ago that I got from campaign as a campaign normal, whatever the first campaign completion first Void you get, I summoned Warlord. I couldn't believe it. I remember watching a stream of Chosens, and I'm asking because I didn't know. I didn't know. I started like 2 months late into the game. I'm like, is Warlord any good? And I guess people thought I was trying to troll them or whatever. Like, I just pulled a Warlord. Is Warlord any good? And nobody answered. So I was like, well, they hooked me. And they went fishing and they hooked me. And I started spending all this money so I could fully book out my Warlord and whatnot. And I lost the fun because I spent money. And I got that slot machine or whatever, roulette or blackjack mentality where it's like, you owe me. I'm like, I spent all this money. The game now owes me, as if I deserve something just because I spent money on a, right? So I stopped playing. And then all of a sudden, these free to play challenges started coming up. And it's like, I don't really care. Yeah, the dopamine, the excitement of pulling a wonderful hero, this or that, it'd be great. But man, I'm having so much fun struggling to put together a team. One second, please. And I've been very fortunate, excuse me, with the in-game knowledge I've acquired through the years of playing that I knew right away. As soon as Jare came out, I was like, yeah, I've got a Tagore and I've got or Tagore and I've got an Ugo. I'm like, I don't know too much about Tagore at the moment. And I know Ugo's more endgame-ish. And I need a decrease attack hero that's pretty good for clan boss if I'm going to do anything. So if you're new, you might not have thought like, hey, Jarrag, no, I'm going to do everything I can on. I picked Wukong as my starter. So some people would be like, immediately, I'm going to invest in the legendary because nothing is better than a mythical and then legendary. So the fun of the free to play experience now for me is that if anybody's watching this content, is to try to share with you what I've spent thousands of hours in this game, not always looking at the screen, but it's been on auto clickers. I've paid for multi battles, left it on overnight. Almost got screen burned the first time I started playing with Minotaur, trying to get all the scrolls and stuff. Yeah, that's a good amount of poisons up there, Kale. Good job, buddy. And the difference now is it's just for fun. And if you're not having fun in the game and you're still spending money, then they got you. They got you. There's nothing more you can say about it. There's nobody to blame but yourself if you're unhappy and you're still spending. I became unhappy, so I stopped playing. I put the game back in the box. Then I decided to take a look at it from a different angle, and I don't know if I'll ever put this game back in the box. But there you go, 19 million. And I might crack 20 here. I might crack 20 million. Come on now. Yep, I'm going to heal everybody. Alice gets a proc. Come on, Alice. So Jareg keeps his cycle going. This is how I get it above 20 million by pushing Jareg to have his ally protect right there. And it takes so long on manual. I apologize, but I want people to see that you don't need an unkillable team. You don't need a block damage, a block debuff if you have something similar to this. I don't know any other hero that's as easy and cheap to build for this purpose as Apothecary. I I don't know. There might be somebody. However, I knew Apothecary, so I'm like I'm building him. So now I'm dead. Tagore just became my punch target. No matter what I was going to do with Jareg had the decreased or increased defense up. Tagore was always the punch target after that. But as you see here, it's a pretty simple two key if I'm not blathering and prattling on camera. I did make a couple cycle errors here, but I'm fairly certain after this right here, the next go, everybody's dead. I'm fairly certain. Come on, Alice, get a proc. No? All right, let's heal up Kale so that you can get one more turn in. And I got decreased attack is up, but I don't think anyone's living. I think this is it. Ooh, let's see if I can keep Alice up. Alice, yes. Come on, Alice, get a proc in. There we go. So almost 22 million by the end of everything in total here, I think. No, no, it's not. It's close. So APOS punched. Alice is going to survive for another 250 grand. Oh, okay, Alice, come on. Ah, the spotlight's on. Good enough, man. Good enough. Boom. Almost 22 million. It's pretty hard to argue against that. So if you stayed this long, I appreciate you. And Yakety the Free, did he just two key? Yakety the Free got his first two key Nightmare Clan boss. Wow. I'm so happy, man. I didn't think that was possible, especially trying to film. So let's happily brag. Wow, two key first time. This is a really good clan, by the way. The people that Hell Hades and Nubriates have surrounded themselves with are very good people. We're cheering each other on and we're having fun in the competition, and it's a very positive gaming atmosphere. Anyways, if you're still here, thank you again so much. I wish you all the best of luck in your summons. This was Yaki to the Free on day 30, getting a two key Nightmare Clan Boss free to play 2025. Take care, everyone.